Jacqueline, thank you. And now to the latest in the investigation into 16-year-old Kyle Plush's death. It's now been a week since family members found Kyle in a van in a Seven Hills parking lot. Now, we still have many questions in this investigation, as do city council members and police at this time. Kyle called 911 several times. So let's get to Allie Kramer. She's got the latest after a marathon meeting in council chambers last night.
Good morning, Catherine. 5 hours inside Cincinnati City Hall, where council members are grilling. They're peppering dispatchers and police officers with questions about what happened, where the investigation stands. They're still very much in the thick of it, and they don't have a lot of answers, and that's very difficult for Kyle Plush's family. They were sitting in the front row during yesterday's meeting. Cincinnati Police Chief Elliot Isaac and City Manager Harry Black offered their condolences to the family before that meeting actually began. Council members were pressing officials on whether the emergency communication system that was answering Kyle's calls actually failed. Was it a failure of technology, they want to know. A veteran dispatcher says the system did go down on the day that Kyle made those calls. It's unclear, though, if it went down during that phone call. Communications center workers also talked about their hostile work environment. They say that they need a bigger staff and more training. Then things turned to the biggest question of all. Did the officers who responded actually get out of their cars to look for Kyle inside his minivan?
At this point, if the responding officers got out of their vehicle?
I do not know that at this point. That will be something that is asked as a part of the investigation.
And Chief, do you know if any of the emergency responders contacted the school as part of their response?
Again, I do not know that at this point.
Chief Isaac says the investigation will be done in the next 10 days. It will then be sent to City Manager Harry Black, who is required to send out those findings within 30 minutes of receiving them. Now, as I mentioned, Kyle's family sat in the front row for much of that meeting until nearly the end, when Councilmember Wendell Young spoke, insinuating that the family is after money and assigning blame. We'll share their emotional response coming up at 6:30. Reporting live this morning downtown, Allie Kramer, 9 on your side.